Hello and welcome you all. So let's get started with today's video that is about all the historical events that took place in Indian history are described in just one video. Hello, you are listening Chandresh Shukla. So let's get started with today's video and today's topic that is important dates and event in Indian history. From AD to BC, from BC to AD. Sorry, I told that from AD to BC and from beginning to last. So, first, 5000 to 300, that is Indus Valley Civilization. 563, that is the birth of Gautam Buddha. 540, that is the birth of Mahavira. 327, that is the Alexander invasion in India. 313, that is the accession of Chandragupta Maurya, in which accession means प्रवेश of Chandragupta Maurya. इसका मतलब ये भी हो सकता है कि he took the throne, that Chandragupta Maurya took the throne in 313 यानी कि 313. And in 305, defeat of Seleucus Nicator by Chandragupta Maurya. And then in 273, say 232, Asoka risen. And then 261, say conquest of Kaling took place. And then 145 to 101, reign of Elara, the Chola kingdom, Chola king of Sri Lanka is then the reign of Elara. Elara is a king of the Chola dynasty of Sri Lanka. And then 58 BC, that is the beginning of Vikrami era. Then come towards the AD, and the first AD is 78 AD. First important date in AD is 78 AD. That is the beginning of Saka era. And then 120 AD, that is the accession of Kanishka to his throne. And then 320 AD, that is the beginning of a Gupta period. That is the golden period in Indian history. And if we talk about that, why Gupta period is known as the golden period in Indian history, then it has mainly two reasons. Firstly, in this period, women enjoy the most of their rights, and second, in this period, the most of temples were constructed. And then comes towards the 380. In this, the accession means, I have told you earlier that it means pravesh or padgrahan of Vikramaditya in 380. And then 405 May, Fayan came to India, Chinese traveler. And then 415 May, Chandragupta, one of the Gupta ruler, that is Kumar Gupta first, took the throne. And in 455, Skandagupta took the throne. And in 606, that is the starting of Harshvardhana region. And then 712, first Arab invasion in Sindh, that is of Muhammad bin Qasim, and he invaded India. That fight is known as Raur Brahmar Varta Yudh. The fight name is Raur Brahmar Varta Yudh. And Muhammad bin Qasim fight against Dahir, the king of Sindh at that time. And then come towards the next, that is 836 AD, that is accession of the king Bhoja of Kanauj. And then 985, accession of Raja of Chola ruler. And then 998, accession of Sultan Mahmud. And then 1001, that is the first invasion of India by Muhammad Ghazni, who defeated Jaipal, ruler of Punjab. And then it is the first invasion of Muhammad Ghazni, and as we know earlier that he invaded 17 times in India. And then one of his favorite attacks is favorite, or we can say the famous attack is that held in 1025 yani ki 1025 May, that is the Somnath temple attack. And then 1191, first battle of the Rhine, and second in 1192, second battle of the Rhine. And then 1206, that is the Qutbuddin Aibak took the throne of India. India means the Delhi. Delhi is the capital of India. So Delhi is somewhat related to India. And then 1210, death of Qutbuddin Aibak. Qutbuddin Aibak built two famous mosques. That is one of the Alai Din Chopra, है ना. और ये कहते हैं कि ये चैगान खेलते वक्त मारा गया था. चैगान मीन्स पोलो. And 1221, Genghis Khan invaded India. And 1236, accession of Razia Sultan. Razia Sultan is a woman. That Razia Sultan is the one and only woman that ruled in medieval India. First and last woman. And 1240, death of Razia Sultan. And then 1296, accession of Alauddin Khilji. And then 1316 में क्या हुआ था? Death of Alauddin Khilji. 1325 में Muhammad bin Tughlaq took the throne. And 1327 में shifting of capital from Delhi to Daulatabad of India, that is Delhi, or we can say of Delhi Sultanate. In 1336, foundation of Vijayanagar Empire by the Hariyan Bukka. And in 1351, accession of Firoz Shah. And in 1398, Invasion of India. Invasion of India by Temur. That Temur invaded in India in 1398, and in 1469 birth of Guru Nanak took place. In 1494 accession of Babur in Farghana, and then in 1497 to 98 that the first voyage, that is the Vasco da Gama, who discovered the sea route through the Cape of Good Hope and through kind come towards the India. And in 1526, that is the first battle of Panipat that led the Mughal Sultanate foundation between, and this fight took place between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. And in 1527, battle of Khanwa between Babur and Rana Sanga. And then in 1530, death of Babur and the accession of Humayun. And then in 1539, Sher Shah Suri defeated Humayun, and in 1555, Humayun recaptured the Delhi throne, and in 1556, second battle of Panipat took place, and in 1565, battle of Talikota, that is also known as Rakshasi Tangdi, in which the joint force of Vijayanagar, Golconda, Ahmednagar fight against Vijayanagar. And then in 1576, battle of Haldi Ghati between Akbar and Rana Pratap. And then in 1582, Deen-e-Ilahi founded by Akbar. And then 1600 में East India Company was established. And then 1605 में death of Akbar and the accession of Jahangir. And as you know that Jahangir's father is Akbar and Akbar's son is Jahangir. And in 1606 गुरु अर्जुन देव का गला कट गया था. एंड 1611 में जहांगीर मैरिड नूरजहां. एंड देन इन 1606 थॉमस रॉय विजिटेड जहांगीर एम्पायर. एंड इन 1627 birth of Shivaji and death of Jahangir. And 1628 Jahangir became emperor of India. And in 1631 death of Mumtaz Mahal. And in 1634 the English permitted to trade in India. And in 1659 accession of Aurangzeb. And in 1665 Shivaji were imprisoned. That Shivaji were imprisoned is just such a dark spot of Indian history, that the Shivaji was imprisoned by the Aurangzeb. And in 1666 death of Shah Jahan. And in 1675 गुरु तेग बहादुर जो 9th गुरु थे सिख के, उनका गर्दन कटा दिया गया था. And in 1680 death of Shivaji. And in 1707 death of Aurangzeb. And in 1708 death of Guru Gobind Singh. And in 1739 Nadir Shah invaded India. And in 1757 battle of Plassey took place that led the establishment of British political rule in India at the hand of Lord Clive. And then in 1761 third battle of Panipat that held between Shah Alam II, who became the emperor of India. And then came towards the 1764. And in 1764 the battle of Buxar took place. And then come towards the 1765, in which the Clive appointed company's governor of India. And then in 1767 to 1769 first Mysore War. And in 1780 birth of Maharaja Ranjit Singh took place. And in 1780 second Mysore War. 1784 Pitt's India Act. And 1790 third Mysore War. And 1793 the permanent settlement of Bengal were introduced. And in 1799 fourth Mysore War and the death of Tipu Sultan took place. And in 1802 Treaty of Bassein took place. And in 1809 Treaty of Amritsar took place. And in 1829 practice of Sati Pratha was abolished. And in 1830 Raja Ram Mohan Roy visited England. And in 1833 death of Raja Ram Mohan took place. Raja Ram Mohan Roy took place. And in 1839 death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh took place. And in 1839 to 42 first Afghan war took place. And in 1845 to 46 first Anglo-Sikh war took place. And in 1852 second Anglo-Burma war took place. And in 1853 first railway line between Bombay to Thane and telegram line in Calcutta were established. And in 1857 the first Sepoy mutiny of first war of independence. Yes, it is exact. It is a just and exact and one of the favorable attack in India that held in 1857, and it is the first war of independence, as we all know. And in 1861 birth of Rabindranath Tagore took place. And in 1869 birth of Mahatma Gandhi took place. And in 1885 foundation of INC, that is Indian National Congress. And in 1889 birth of Jawaharlal Nehru took place, who is the first PM of India. And in 1897 birth of Subhash Chandra Bose took place, and in 1904 Tibet expansion took place, and in 1905 first battle of Bengal under Lord Curzon war happened, and in 1906 foundation of Muslim League, and in 1911 Delhi Darbar was established, that is for king and queen who visited India. Delhi became the capital of India in 1911. And then come towards the 1914, that is the World War first begins, and in 1916 Lucknow Pact was signed between the Muslim League and Congress, and in 1918 World War first end हुआ था, and in 1919 में Montague Champs for Reform were introduced. Jallianwala Bagh massacre at Amritsar took place, and in 1920 Khilafat movement launched, and in 1927 boycott of Simon Commission, and in 1928 death of Lala Rajpat Rai, and in 1939 Lord Irwin Pact or Independent Act was passed in the Lahore Congress session, and in 1930 civil to civil movement were launched, and Dandi March by Gandhi ji, that is happened in 6 April 1930, and in 1931 Gandhi Irwin Pact, and in 1935 Government of India Act enacted, and in 1937 Provincial Autonomic Congress forms ministry, and 1939 World War II begins, and 1941 escape of Subhash Chandra Bose from India and death of Rabindranath Tagore, and in 1942 arrival of Cripps mission in India and Quit India movement were launched in 8 August 1942, and in 1943 to 44 Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose forms Provincial Azad Hind Fauj and Indian National Army, and Bengal famine took place in 1943 to 44. 1945 in this Indian National Army at Red Fort ट्रायल हुआ था इसका, एंड ये सिमला कॉन्फ्रेंस भी इसी में हुई थी, एंड वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकेंड भी 1945 में एंड हुआ था, एंड देन कम टूवर्ड्स द 1946 इन विच the British cabinet minister visited India and the formation of interim government at center took place, and then come towards the 1947, that is a historical date for the history of India and Pakistan, that is in the midnight of 15 August 1947 both India and Pakistan got independent, and in 1948 Gandhiji was died, and in January 30 and the integration of provincial state took place. So that's all for today, and please like my channel and share more and more, and please follow, and please do share for the more videos, and if you want me to make any another video on any other topic, so you can leave your topic name in the comment section, and keep watching.